Okay, everyone. So we're going to be looking at density calculations today. So this is part of the AP Prep, one of the extensions for chemistry. So we're going to be doing a lab on density. Obviously this year, because we're in COVID protocols, we're doing a virtual lab. But we're going to first look at density and the different types of things that can affect density. We're going to look at some density calculations, and actually we're going to also look at how I want you to set up calculations for any time we're doing calculations in science class. Okay, so first we're going to kind of start with a warm-up activity. So I'm going to explain what's going to happen here. I'm going to show a video, and then we're going to kind of discuss, and I'm going to kind of explain what you saw. Okay, so I'll give you the setup of what's going to happen. So there's going to be a tank of water. Okay, so you have a tank of water. There's going to be a can of regular Coke and a can of Diet Coke. Okay, they're going to be exactly the same size, exactly the same volume for liquid inside. I believe it's 255 or 355, don't quote me. It'll be in the video, but they're the same. So let's assume it's 355 if my memory helps here. But anyways, no matter what, they're the same volume. Okay, so the volume here is equal. So what we're going to do is, in the video, they're going to put the two cans of pop in water, and I want you to predict what you think will happen. So will they sink? Will they float? Will they stay suspended in the water? So the scenarios really are going to be either they're floating, they're sinking, or maybe they're suspended in the middle. And so I want you to predict what will happen to each can of Coke. And I want you to explain why you believe that prediction will happen. Okay, so pause the video, and I want you to make this prediction before you watch and you continue to see what's going to happen here. Okay, so let's take a look at the video now of the experiment. Let me just shift it over. Okay, so I don't have any, there's no, like I'm not going to put the volume on this because I want you to just basically observe what's happening. So let's take a look. Okay, so we have a can of regular Coke, 355, hey, okay. And then we have a can of dark Diet Coke, so the volumes are the same as you can see. Okay, so it looks like our can of Coke is sitting at the bottom of the water, and our Diet Coke is floating. Well, there you go. So what I'd like you to do is, and he pushes it up. In the video, this person pushes it down and then it floats back up. So let's go back to the note. So what ended up happening here is actually I'll just erase this one. So our regular Coke ended up basically sitting at the bottom of the tank, and the Diet Coke ended up floating in the water. Okay, so looking at buoyancy, if you remember anything, I know in elementary school you do discuss buoyancy, but what this would basically mean is regular Coke is more dense than water, and Diet Coke is less dense than water. Okay, so part of your explanation, so you may have had your prediction completely wrong, and that's okay. But part of what this has to do with is how compact are the particles in that same volume of space? Because remember, the volume that both cans are taking up are exactly the same. Now, the main difference between the two is that regular Coke has sugar, a lot of sugar that has been added and dissolved into it, whereas Diet Coke does not have those extra particles. So even though a lot of the chemicals are the same, because you have all of that extra particles that's been dissolved in there, the particles in Coke are more compact because it has the water and all the chemicals plus the sugar. I believe it has something like 20 plus grams of sugar. Hold on, let me Google this quickly. Okay, sugar in Coke. Okay, so it's got 10.6 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters. So 10.6 times 2.25. Oh, 2.5. Sorry. 3.55. Oh my goodness, don't drink regular Coke. 3.55. So that means it has approximately 38 grams of sugar that the Diet Coke doesn't have. So you have to think those 38 sugar particles have been dissolved in the same amount of space. So basically, regular Coke has a heavier mass compared to Diet Coke. So the volume is the same, but the regular Coke weighs more. Okay. So here's another one I want you to predict and explain, to think about. Okay, so what will happen if we have an unlit candle? So basically it's just a little thing of wax that's placed into 3 scenarios. A large beaker of water, a small beaker of water, and a small beaker of alcohol. So I want you to just imagine here, a large beaker of water, then we have a small beaker of water, and then we have the same size beaker approximately of alcohol. So different liquids. There should be an O. Okay, so and then we're gonna put the same kind of candle without being lit. So basically it's just like a little piece of wax is gonna go into all 3. So again, the same things are gonna be happening. You're predicting, do you think it's gonna sink? Do you think it's gonna float? Do you think it's gonna stay suspended? And then what will happen in each of these scenarios? Okay, so pause the video and write out what you think your prediction will be and why you are predicting it. All right, so for this one, there's no particular video that actually matches what the idea is here that I wanted to show you, but let's look at some pictures to kind of represent this. So candles, it actually doesn't matter the size of the candle itself or the water. So this is a nice picture to kind of show you that. So candles are made up of wax. Okay, so it's more so about the type of matter that this is. So we have wax, and we have here, you can see we have, let's say, a larger amount of water. Here we have a smaller amount of water. Here we have a lot of water. So no matter what, it doesn't matter the amount of water or the size of the candle, actually. Wax will always float in water. So wax is less dense than water. So what that means is wax has more space between its particles than water does. Water is more compact than wax. Now, if you have it in alcohol, though, you're changing the type of matter that it is in. So here's an example. These are kind of wax pellets. So this is water on the right, and over here we have alcohol on the left. So you can see here that the wax actually will sink when it's in alcohol. So water is more dense than wax, but wax is more dense than alcohol. So actually, when you see different comparatives like this, we can start to rank the different densities. So water, I should say, let's do from least to most. So least compact to most compact, or lower density to higher density, right? So the highest density is water of the 3 things, right? Because wax was less dense than water, but wax was more dense than alcohol, right? So wax sinks in alcohol but floats in water. So it's actually in between the 2. Now, let's say wax were to float in both of them. That means that wax would be the lowest density. If wax were to sink in both of them, that means wax would have been more dense than water. Okay, so comparing the different densities of different things helps us to kind of rank them and understand how compact the particles are compared to one another. So which do you think would have the greater volume, the greater mass, and why? So let's take a look. So let's say you had 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams of feathers versus 1,000 grams, oops, I'm missing 0, of rock. So which one do you think would take up the greater amount of space? Which one would have the greater weight or mass? And why do you think that this is the case? So pause the video and ask yourself, of the two, which one would take up the most space? Which one weighs the most? And why are you answering basically your answers to those questions? Okay, so in terms of what would take up the greater amount of space, the greater amount of volume should be our feathers. And the reason for that is because feathers are relatively light. So you would need to have a lot of feathers to make up 1,000 grams or 1 kilogram of feathers. Whereas 1 kilogram of rock, you probably don't need a whole lot of rock in order to do that. Probably a kilogram of rock could fit in maybe 1 hand or 2 hands worth of rock. So 1 kilogram roughly is 2.2 pounds. Okay, so you can probably hold it in 1 hand, to be honest. Think of like a 2-pound dumbbell. Okay, so whereas 1 kilogram of feathers, let's say every feather weighs maybe 1 gram, you would, because they're very light, you would need 1,000 feathers to make up that same weight. So the greater volume definitely would be feathers. Now, greater mass, I'm hoping you realize they're the exact same mass. So the answer is that they are equal. So neither of them has a greater mass. They weigh exactly the same. So the difference between the two is not the weight actually, but the amount of volume that they would take up. So when we're looking at density, you have to consider both of these things. We have to consider the volume of that matter as well as the mass of that matter. So density is a measure of how tightly packed and how heavy the molecules are in an object. Density is the amount of matter within a certain volume. So we're looking at the amount of particles, the mass of those particles, and comparing it to the amount of space that those particles take up. So for example, the pictures here on the left and right, let's say A and B, they're actually the same type of particle. The difference is A has a more compact amount of particles, whereas B is less compact. See how there's more space between particles. So even though this square that's drawn takes up the same amount of space, A is going to end up having a higher density because I can see that they're more compact. This will weigh more, this will have a heavier mass in compared to B. So here is our formula for density. So the symbol for density, it almost looks like almost like a lowercase p, but it's cursive. Okay, so density is equal to mass divided by the volume. You might see density as being a lowercase d as well. Okay, but the proper symbol for density is actually kind of a cursive p. Okay, so it's mass over volume, and we're going to get into some calculations in the next part.